Hello everybody, it's Leela.
And Bo.
Welcome to my channel.
Woo! More heartbreak.
Yeah. I'm going to assume it's your first time here because this is a brand new series on my channel in which Bo and I, older K-pop fans, will be recapping, reviewing, and having in-depth discussions about Boys Planet throughout the run of the series. Please join us on this journey that we're about to go on over the next couple of months. It's going to be emotional.
Yep.
There will be laughter. There will be tears. There will be heartbreak and joy.
Yeah.
And all of the
mostly
above.
Heartbreak. Is it Boys Planet 999?
No.
It's just Boys Planet. Oh, that's good.
Before we begin, 1, thank you for clicking on this video. 2, please stick around to listen to our discussion and subscribe if you like it so that you can get all of our new videos every week for these recaps, and you can come along this wonderful journey with us.
So much joy. It'll make you happy.
And 3, today, we're here. The purpose of this video, before the show even begins, is to talk about our top picks so far, based off of what we know so far.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
No, we've seen videos and personality stuff, and I think you actually learn more from these first few kind of videos than you do with the edited stuff.
It's always fun. We did this last time with Girls Planet, where just based off of first impressions, who are you rooting for? And then in the end, to see if, you still feel the same way. Like you're still rooting for them or if you have new favorites or anything like that. So it's really fun. So this is our top 11 so far. I've heard rumors the group may have 11 members. We don't know if that's true.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I would love it if it did. The more the merrier.
Yeah, these shows can get away with larger groups.
I think so.
Because they're a created group and people kind of, they're all created, but you know what I mean?
Crowdsourced?
Yeah, it's crowdsourced. So you want to have more members, so it kind of allows more people to have feedback, kind of and get involved, because if you only had 5, for example, it would get down to 4 Koreans and 1 Japanese or something like that, and people would feel left out, Thailand and stuff. So this gives a chance to at least put 1 from somebody.
We aren't sure that it's 11.
Right.
I've heard rumors. Maybe it's less. I don't know. But I would love for it to be 11.
I think 11's fine.
So we have 11 picks here. So shall we dive in?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's go. First up, my number 1.
Oh, give me a break.
Right now.
From the beginning.
My number 1. My 1 pick as we begin this journey. My number 1 is Anthony.
He's literally, excuse me, like an anime character that's always happy, like a
So, Anthony. So, anyone that's a new fan, since Anthony has been announced as being on Boys Planet, is, like a new fan. Mm-hmm. I am an old school Anthony fan.
Old school?
Bo and I watched Produce Japan Season 2. We actually watched it when it was on.
It was pretty good.
That was in 2021. We watched it when it was on.
Oh, man.
My favorite during that show was Anthony. And we're the only 2 people that watched it in the whole world. Nobody watched that show.
Yeah.
And there was no voting international. It was only in Japan. You had to have verified identity and stuff. So we couldn't contribute in any way whatsoever. And so,
And it made Jo on?
They made Teen
Teen Top?
Not Jo.
No.
Jo1 was season 1. I was season 2. The season he was on came out with I. They're pretty good. They have a couple really good songs.
But have they done well?
I think in Japan, yeah.
Okay. That's not. I'm just saying that Anthony missed out. Maybe he did.
He was pretty close to getting there. He was in the last elimination.
He gets in this group, he'll do much better.
So anyway, what I'm saying is that I'm a true fan because I've been here since the beginning.
Yeah,
I've been here since the beginning.
Come at her. Now, why does it say Japanese and Filipino?
He's Japanese and Filipino.
Oh, is he? Okay.
And I think he was born in Japan, so he's going to the show as a trainee from Japan.
I thought he was Filipino.
But he's Japanese and Filipino. He's adorable. He's a tall, skinny string bean who is the brightest little ray of sunshine and was all throughout Produce Japan. And in every video they've made so far for Boys Planet, sunshine.
Yeah,
sunshine personified.
We did this with other idols, where you just don't get idols like this that often, where they just feel completely authentic from the beginning. They feel like they're just being themselves.
It's not that you don't get them. There certainly are some.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know what I mean?
the few that exist that were just like, you were just born to be an idol, weren't you? Like, I really am drawn to them.
But at the same time, he's not your usual idol in that a lot of ways. He's kind of tall and gangly and stuff. He's a little more feminine and stuff. Like he's very like a child and stuff. Happy all the time. But that's entertaining. He's an entertainer.
Not cool, but cute.
But he can pull off cool and stuff in his own way. And I think
he has, like, for what it's worth, think he had a pretty decent, like, vocal skill. But Produce Japan was better. Like, they were very much like amateur, like, trainees. They weren't even like trainees. They were like, the skill level was, you know, they weren't from companies or anything.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think he just makes people feel good in general. And
I didn't know that since then he had been picked up by Wake One. Wake One is the company that manages Kepler and that will presumably manage this group when it's done.
Did Wake One manage Eyes One as well?
It didn't exist. It's a new.
Oh, okay. Because
it's a new thing.
Okay.
But they manage Kepler and a couple other groups. So that bodes well for him.
Well, I'm asking also because one was all the thing with Eyes One and all those previous.
It had
shows.
nothing to do with the rigged groups.
Well, and their name was Wake One, like it's a new version of the old groups.
I don't know.
Anyway, so that's good for him. I mean,
that is good for him. So he's been training. I'm excited to see how his skills have grown over the past year or so.
I mean, do I think that's going to? And I think people will probably say that's might affect voting, and maybe he'll get favorable edits and stuff. But I haven't.
Oh, he's going to get favorable edits.
I think when you have somebody like Hikaru or somebody who's fun to watch, you get a lot of screen time.
So,
excuse me.
As we go through each one, I wanted to talk about what we know about them so far, why we like them, and the second part is predictions. So one, will he make it into the group?
I think if he does, he skirts by, like shouting in Kepler, where he's like, oh my God. This idol, he's been a star of the show. He's so
and then something at the end.
It's like he barely comes in at the last, and he just starts.
I'm going to try to not get my hopes up and fail. I just don't know. I think all the signs are pointing to yes. His videos have a ton of views.
Yeah, but that's again a problem.
Where's that coming from?
What happens because
he's got a fandom though.
He does, but his voters. The problem with all
these shows, you gotta vote for Anthony.
The problem with all of these shows is most viewers probably do not do what the people who know what not to do, which is stick to your favorite. You don't panic.
No panic voting.
Or you don't go, all right, he'll be okay because I know he's my favorite, but other people.
I've been very pleasantly surprised with how many views all of his videos are getting, how much attention he seems to be getting, and I don't know if that's like the people like us that are coming over from. Produce Japan that knew him from that show and liked him, or if it's the Filipino fan base. Like,
I mean, they're good at supporting their idols. If they need to. They always
we've seen that like with Shanti from what's her group called
from Lapis.
Like huge fan base. Like it's the representation there is like a big deal. So
it helps when you're an easy person to like. If he was a dud,
people
won't support a dub just because. They're in the group. I mean, there's some people who do that.
We love Anthony.
Yeah, good luck to Anthony. I think he'll squeak in there.
We'll see. The second part is his foil, Kim Jiwoong.
That video. Okay.
Kim Jiwoong.
Korean, I guess. Yeah, K group.
I wanted to mention too. Thus far, we've seen their like intro videos, and we've seen some fun variety content on YouTube. In a lot of that content on YouTube, they've been paired up with one other member. So a K group member and a G group member.
Which could be Filipino, Japanese.
It's everyone that isn't, They didn't do C group this time, thank goodness. It's everyone just under G. And his pairing in that is Jiwoong. And Jiwoong is another one who's getting huge views on everything that he does.
Yeah.
He's like super, super popular so far.
His video is so silly, but I think young people... who are attracted to him liked it and thought it was cute and he's sweet and whatever or handsome. He's obviously a good-looking guy, but I wonder.
He did a vampire thing. If you don't remember, from the intro videos. He was like, I'm a vampire, and he just stood there and like didn't even move.
Which is go for it. That's cool. I'm glad he did. He stuck to his plan. Yeah. He wasn't like Trumpet Boy who like did 5 things, which I love. But what I'm saying is, in his intro video, handsome, speaks well, obviously an actor, whatever.
Yeah, he's an actor.
But that was not very exciting or fun or dynamic, right? When you pair him with Anthony,
dynamic duo.
Dynamic duo. Anthony balances it out, and you see chemistry there, and you see.
I legitimately hope they're actually in a team together. I cannot wait to see their interactions on the show because they balance each other out so well. Like Anthony's the bright, bubbly, person, and he's like very stoic and chic and cool, and like they're so cute together. Their video where they did the pedometer is like pulling numbers. Like people are streaming the pedometer video because they're so cute together.
I think because he's an actor, he's used to allowing his scene partner to do what they do, and he gives but he's not. I don't like that he's not real exciting, but I like the fact that he feels pretty.
His shtick is that's his shtick.
Well, he feels pretty legitimately. He's being real. He's not being fake.
We haven't seen a lot of his skills quiet yet, and stuff. But he's been in 3 different groups. Like he's been trying.
He obviously can do something. Yeah.
Like, I think there's something there. There's something there, and I like him.
Good-looking potential idols are not a dime a dozen, but there's a lot of good in this group alone, in this show alone. There's a lot of good looking. Sometimes when you watch the older ones, there are people who look like me and stuff, and it's like, so that's not it. I think it's possible they just haven't been able to use him with his strengths, and I think his strength.
I'm excited.
His strength is working with others.
Prediction: will he make it into the group? I'm gonna say yes. I think any K group member that's popular, that's popular already has a really good chance. I think that the K group members are going to get the votes, and like I think he's already so popular. I just think unless he goes out there we get one of those horrible high note situations or something.
Well, even then,
that tanks him or something.
That happened with a couple members who made it into groups.
But I think he's a contender. We have a contender.
Excuse me.
Bo has allergies.
I'm sorry, I have bad allergies. I apologize.
Please.
I think he's an interesting guy. He's kind of like quiet as he is. I still think he's really interesting.
One of my personal picks, just off of like seeing their intro videos alone and sheer cuteness, is Zhang Minso. He is, you may know him as the boy with long hair.
There's got to be a long hair.
There's one in G group too, but he wasn't a pick for me.
He looks like a guy in 80s.
He's the... Does he?
Yeah, he looks like an 80s member. Or straight kid. 80s.
I can't put my finger on who he reminds me of.
He reminds me of the leader from 80s, maybe?
No.
He's got a hawkish look,
He is the cutest thing. He is so cute. Like, this is like purely shallow visuals for me. Like, he's precious. He's so freaking cute.
I don't really feel it for that reason.
You don't?
No. But
I'm weak for long hair, so that's like, I already won.
Yeah, but that can change.
He had long black hair in all of his like pre-videos. They did a meet with fans where they did a weird outside fan meeting. He has dyed his hair blonde. It looks insane.
Yeah,
he looks amazing with the blonde hair. He plays guitar. He's like a little indie rocker looking
he's learning
kid.
To play guitar, but yeah.
God knows if he has any
That's
skills
what I'm saying.
or whatever.
I need to see something more.
But I think he's cute, and he's from Willem Entertainment, just as an FYI.
Which is
Umbi's label.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably. I haven't seen a lot from him, but I do think there's something there. I think that. You can go off looks. And
predictions? No, he's not going to make it in the group. I think he's a little bit too unassuming.
Yeah.
Unless he surprises us all and comes out on the show and like knocks everybody out of the park or something.
We've seen that happen.
But I think he's a little bit unassuming and a little bit like he seems a little shy. So.
Which always floors me with idols. Like, what are you doing? But maybe that's
so. Maybe not. But he's cute, so that's fine.
Yeah. No, there you go. He's an idol.
And next we have Christian, who is another one of the members that stood out to me a lot. Just really striking visuals. Like, no one looks like him. He's completely unique looking.
Kids out there, you'll have to Google this. But in this picture in the top right, his normal photo, he's got the scraggly short hair.
Uh-huh.
He every time I see this, I think of, and combined with that jacket, I think of The guy who played the new Sherlock in the new series on CBS, that actor, he was in a movie called Hackers back in the day with the very first Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And he reminds me of
that
that
actor's name?
He's a great actor. He's a fantastic Johnny something.
He was really. I know what you're talking about.
So I kept seeing that, and I kept thinking, man, he's the Hackers guy from Hackers. Look it up, and you'll see it. You might have to watch if you've seen. But I thought his was interesting because he had a whole little skit about being an AI. It was kind of cheesy and stuff, but it's all cheesy and fun.
Yeah.
And he didn't break character and stuff. Didn't he have a thing when the doors closed? He acted a little confused.
Yeah.
Which broke the character, which I think was great. Oh, is he China?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I didn't know he was Chinese.
So he's in G Group. He's from China. He was on the show Youth with You 3, which is another like reality show to make a group that was in China. It was the one where Lisa was the mentor. I never watched the show.
Saw a little bit,
but a lot of people watched it and remembered him, and I think he has a lot of fans that are coming over from having watched that with him on it.
Good-looking guy. What are you gonna do?
So I've never seen it, so I don't know anything about like his skills or anything like that. But he has some solo songs released. He was in a group called Now United.
And what did he do in his little talent video? Did he dance or didn't he do a separate?
We haven't seen the talent videos.
I thought
the auditions. We've only seen like these intro videos.
I thought we saw another one where they did another thing. What am I thinking of? Anyway, I'll if I think about it, I'll
we haven't seen him really do anything like that.
I guess we're also seeing him do the group. Like who's he grouped up with for these other videos?
I forget his partner.
So
well, I mean, we saw the intro song, the beat nah whatever. Beat nah whatever. Anyway.
He speaks a little English.
I think that those intro songs, like with all the members, and they do the solo fan cams. Those songs, it's really hard for me to watch it and like judge someone's skills, like because it's just so. It's like chaotic. There's like 99 people dancing or whatever.
Yeah, and it's
like,
not really. It's built to more like filming a commercial. You're not really. So
I don't really look at that for like faves or skills or anything. Oh my gosh!
Sorry, excuse me.
So, but anyway, I think Christian is really interesting. I think it seems like he has a built-in fan base. Predictions, will he make it in the group? Absolutely not. Maybe I'm
thinking of his duets video or something, but he gets funnier in something. He gets a little more loose. Because his AI thing was cute, but it was just kind of...
When he was doing the lemon juice thing.
Yeah, the lemon juice and all that. That's what I'm talking about, all those videos.
And the pedometer video.
Doesn't know how to make a drink for the life. But to be fair, what's 17?
He's an actual alien because he doesn't know how to make a lemonade.
He could have downloaded the plans or something. But yeah, no, I think he's interesting too.
I don't think he'll make it in the group because I don't think any Chinese idols are going to make it into this group.
Sucks.
I think that just to be brutally honest, based off of what we saw with Girls Planet, we had like incredibly popular, talented, amazing, beautiful, non-problematic queens from China on Girls Planet, and Xiaoting barely squeaked her way into the group because the way they
she didn't.
They weight the votes towards the.
I think she was a safe bet for a lot of people too.
Because the way they weight the votes towards the Korean fans, and the Korean fans tend to not vote for the Chinese idols. It's just reality.
There's another reality.
It's not fair.
There's another reality.
But it's the truth.
If they don't allow Korean votes to have more weight,
they will.
If they didn't, I'm saying, if that was another reality, more than one Chinese print would get in.
Yeah, of course, they got
the rest of the world would be like, cool, whatever, this person's cool.
I just think
in Korea, if they weigh more like they did last time, 50%, I doubt maybe one. And I think I understand the politics stuff like that, but this is just some kid.
It's not fair. It's not right. I don't think it's right. But I just think, truthfully, reality is in speaking from experience.
And one of the problems
my one pick on Girls Planet was C Group.
Yeah, and I think that when they give that extra weight to the K group, to me, it's a way of trying to please that group and trying to like not insult anybody. Like, you have more power. Don't worry, you really know K-pop or whatever. And it's kind of like. It's kind of old-fashioned at this point.
I don't want to get into that debate.
No, I know.
But I'm just saying that that's my reasoning that, like, I think he can go far. I'm excited to see what he does. I'm not going to get too attached because I just have a feeling. Like, I'm just...
Yeah, but he's going to do something.
But I think he'll do well. Similar situation with Ricky.
I thought you hated Ricky.
Why would I hate Ricky?
I didn't like Ricky.
Why wouldn't you like Ricky?
I didn't dislike him. I'm just saying that...
He's putting on a character...
Yeah, but I mean, why did you pick all the super hot guys? Well, I mean,
what do you think this is?
I know, but that's not usual. Like Anthony and stuff's not your usual hot guy, So it's like...
I said the people that are interesting to me and stand out to me so far.
Oh, no, that's cool.
And this is who I'm picking.
At first, when we first saw him, I didn't think we really dug him that much.
I think Ricky, I think he's really interesting. He's one to keep an eye on. And
he
Ricky
speaks English, right? And stuff.
Yeah, his whole shtick in his intro video is like, young and rich, tall and handsome. I'm Ricky. It's like the like intonation of that was really funny. Young and rich, tall and handsome. I'm Ricky. And like he just like the same facial expression or whatever. Like I just think there's something interesting there with him. I think he's got something.
It gives me heebie-jeebies because Rich from Sue Ritchie, and she did the same thing with Rich, but she made a joke about not being rich.
That's true.
She's more humble about it. I think he's putting on the
same thing that I said about other does he have a chance to be in the group even with his popularity and his handsomeness and everyone's really talking about Ricky right now? Probably not because of China thing, which isn't fair.
And this is why I'm saying that.
But my main prediction for Ricky is he's going to get the villain edit. Because he's playing a character already. He's playing a character who's cold and chic and serious and look at me, I'm so good and better than you. Blah. And it's like... He's playing a character. We know that he's playing a character, right? I think they're going to use that against him.
But what happened with what's her name, who did the
Fu Yanning? I'm getting Fu Yanning vibes all over again. Flashbacks.
But if anything, that worked in her favor because it showed that she was unfairly treated and people came to her side and really got
out towards the end.
She got close. So from what we know, remember it was her and Fu at the end, and her and Sue Ritchie at the end. If they added up the votes, who would have made it? So. My point is it's possible, but if he does get mistreated a little bit, if he's a sweetie and kind of overcomes that, because it really is editing, he's not really being a jerk to people. So as they show more and more footage of him being nice,
he's not being a jerk to anyone.
I know that's what I'm saying. But if they edit it to make it look like it's he's just grumpy one day, make it look like he's a real.
He better watch out. Is all I'm saying. Yeah. They're gonna treat him
if he's aware of it, maybe he'll go. He'll
play with it.
Or I'll just continue being nice, like what happened. That's what Fu Yanning did. She went over the top to be nice. And then it actually comes back in his favor, but.
Just my guess. He's setting himself up, I feel.
Yeah, I thought he should have showed more of a sense of humor, but that's why I didn't really like him.
I don't dislike him.
And is he really rich?
I assume, yeah.
I mean, then what's he being an idol for? Why do you want to do
Idols
a job?
are all rich.
No, they're not.
Poor kids don't go to
I know, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But anyway,
you're kidding?
You're not supposed to flaunt it. No, this is
Jay. He's another one that stood out to me again because our American boy Jay... love that for him. He's Filipino American.
Yeah.
He's in the group called Mont, which is like kind of a Nugu small
sounds
label.
Group FM Entertainment has some groups.
No.
I thought they had a couple decent sized.
You're thinking of someone else. You're thinking of other groups that have the letter F. Not this one. And I think I haven't followed it closely, but I think that Jay. I think I read that he had done they've done some promotions and touring here in the States.
Right.
And he did like fan meets and stuff as Mont, like in America and stuff.
I mean, if you can speak English, it helps. Sorry about that. Yeah, it definitely helps for you to do that kind of stuff.
So I think he has some built-in fans from that. I think he's very interesting looking.
What were his numbers on his views? And stuff?
I think he's pulling pretty good. Seems to be doing well. And he seems like a likable cool guy, he's a chill guy. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, Jay. He's like a
Jay.
He sounds like a Jay.
Hey, my name's Jay.
Could have made it
I'm a
better
chill
if
dude.
his name was Keegan.
And I have a big smile.
No, but he's not only American, so I get that, but he's also got the Filipino vote.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll help. But yeah, he seems
I like
like a cool
Jay.
kid.
We'll see how Jay goes.
Chances of making it?
No idea.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. I think
not like squeaking in pretty good. Not like guaranteed.
Giving me Mark Lee vibes, like wholesome.
Yeah.
Boy next door. As long as he's not problematic. There's some people already trying to point the finger at him for being problematic.
If something comes out or something.
I'm not going to believe everything I read on the internet just yet. I mean... I'm going to have to see something more substantial. But I'm just going to say that just for now. But yeah. I like Jay. This is one that's kind of a dark horse for me.
Was he the really good dancer?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we watched all of these intro videos, the time attack or whatever. And a lot of them were pretty boring and I was just kind of skipping through them.
This is your chance to do something. Come on.
A lot of them just didn't give me a lot.
You're right.
So these next few ones more so than just like the visuals or the I think you're cool. These are ones that were impressed me in their video in one way or another.
He didn't impress me at first until I noticed.
And Wang Zihao impressed me the most with his dancing.
Yeah, he's good.
Like he popped off. Like he was the only one. Like there were a lot of the intro videos where someone would try to dance and like
they did fine, but yeah.
And it was just like
you can
close rustling sounds and that were distracting and awkward. He popped off. Like and it was very good. He again is from China. I don't think his Korean is very strong, if I remember correctly. I think that he didn't speak Korean in his intro.
Oh, okay.
So that could be a challenge. Again, China, like I don't know that we're gonna get many of them in the group, but I think he's just raw skill level was one of the highest in the dance that I saw.
You know, there is something to be said.
He was really good.
When people go, voters will actually go. There needs to be a dancer. There needs to be a singer. There needs to be a rapper. And if there is one person left that they don't even really like but fulfills that role, they'll be like, well, we have to get the job done. Like, a lot of fans see it like that, so they will vote in a dancer.
I think he's definitely a dark horse. His videos aren't getting a lot of views. I don't think he's getting a lot of attention or anything.
There was maybe 3 other guys who were up to his level.
He stood out. Like, I was like, you're cool. I like you.
I didn't know. At first, he didn't until you pointed out. You said, no, look, he's dancing. I'm like, yeah, he's sharp, man.
He's sharp.
A lot of them tried, but dancing the same with rap or with singing. If you're gonna do it, you've got to own it, and he owned it. For
the thing with like these intro videos and trying to show your skill as a dancer in less than a minute with no real music.
Yeah,
a lot of them would do like an idle dance. Like, here's my dance to a Stray Kids song, and there's like no music or something or a little bit. I don't think that's how you do it. I think if you want to show off and you want to show your actual skill, you do some freestyle he did to some music that's like not a K-pop song where we look at it and we're immediately comparing you to the original.
Yeah.
Don't do an idle dance. That's my hot tip. Don't do an idle dance. Just do a dance. Yeah. Like you know, Chan, IZ*ONE, her freestyle dance. That was her moment.
Her meme moment.
Yeah. And it wasn't doing someone else's dance. It was doing something unique.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my
100%.
opinion. So.
What's this? A kitty cat? Get out here.
We have a kitty cat joining us, so he might have opinions. This was one of your picks, Park Hyunbin.
You know, when he came in, he was doing the wrestler act, the costume similar to the twins who did the alien capture costume, who also ate chicory. Which I'm like, who is this girl, and why do I need her to be president of the world right now?
We were big twin stands in
and I wasn't trying to be like, I want them to be in the group because they're silly and weird. No, I really think that they were entertainers. But this guy came in and was interesting. You're like, all right, he's doing the twin thing. He's going to be weird, which is cute. Now, don't get me wrong. The twins even pointed it out on their Instagram.
They acknowledged his shtick because he came in the blow-up costume. But when he started to rap,
I think he had that Hikaru vibe where he was owning it. More so than Hikaru. Hikaru kind of has an ability to sound like certain rap. He sounded like he was doing more of an original thing. Mm-hmm. And he has a unique look. He's very skinny, obviously, but that's fine. You know, kids in that age can be that thin without being starving themselves. Stuff. He can just be a thin guy. But he has an unusual look. And I think that if you're not the normal, if you're not a good-looking like Christian or something who's like cover model and you do rap, a lot of people kind of have more, I know this sounds weird, but kind of are okay with you being in a position because you're serving the purpose of the rapper, not necessarily the visual.
The rapper doesn't have to be the main visual.
I'm not saying he's not a good looking guy. You know what I'm saying? But I think that he just came out, and when he started rapping, I was like, oh, okay, so he can rap. And this sounds silly, but this is what I liked about the twins. When he was doing the acting with the costume, he really did a good little... He
committed.
You know, he gave a little comedic moment.
Committed to the bit.
And comedy is the hardest thing to do in the world, 100%. And that's why I like the twins so much and some of the other girls who are so funny. You know, and I think if you're funny, that means you can be sad, you can be dramatic. Whoa, cat. Jesus, he scared the crap out of me. We have a new kitten and he's trying to climb. You need to go out. Why don't mommy go out and put him out and close the door? So when he rapped, it brought it all to a serious point for a moment. You're like, oh, he's got the skill. And then he went back to being silly like that. And so that's what one of the skills idols need to have, is to be able to play different roles at different times and do it literally on the fly like that. And I think he did great. So cool. You liked him all right too? I liked his
I think it's okay, but this is your pick, not mine. So
well, I guess my picks aren't any good.
Another from Jellyfish Entertainment. So the pair of them, they must be training together to be friends or something because they're both rappers. Was Park Gun-wook he did a similar shtick, not fully like a vampire, but he did some dances from Vicks, which are jellyfish. That's their seniors. And he also rapped, which was like, I think him and the other were similar level, similar skill level.
Yeah.
Showing a lot of potential, and he was like pretty funny too.
And
like,
he looks like somebody I cannot.
He was very theatrical about it. He looks like the actor from True Beauty.
But trying to place that.
And like super duper handsome. So like, I think he's one to watch.
Again, and I'm not harping on it, but this whole group, on average, was much better. Like every year, idols get better and better looking, but they're not only they have different looks and still are good looking. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, they're idols.
He's one to watch. I'm keeping my eye on this kid.
Too, for sure.
Predictions for the two of them, I have no idea. Wild card.
I mean, if first guy, what's his name?
I think if they get an opportunity to rap and knock it out of the park, I think they have a good chance.
And by rapping, by the way, they didn't do this a lot in girls playing. They didn't allow them to, but
they didn't.
Except for really Hikaru. In this, maybe they'll allow the rappers to actually own and destroy. Like Hikaru, the entire time in Girls Planet, you're like, all right, this next performance, she's rapping.
When they had a chance to choose, she didn't choose to.
She didn't do it. And granted, to her credit, maybe she didn't want to.
But I think that having a few members like this who seem like that's their focus, maybe they'll choose to show that and like do a song like that.
Yeah. So if they come out and can show their skills,
nobody wants to be a rapper, Anyway.
Again, this is another position that needs to be filled, possibly, and people are like, we need to fill it.
This is Bo's favorite of the.
I mean, look at his hair's messed up, even in the picture. He's like
Lee Dom.
He's like, what does he do first? And he's like, oh, I'm not tired. And he falls down. And
he was.
By the way, his robot neck skills were pretty impressive.
He came out on his intro video and was acting like a clown.
This outfit and stuff, isn't that the character with the mustache? That the Korean guy who's always wearing the mustache? That's his character.
No, he's doing a character from Aladdin.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, he's doing a silly. Oh no!
So anyway, he comes out. He's in this while she rescues the kitty and closes him out of the room, hopefully, because he is a nightmare. He came out and he did the little limbo dance. He wasn't the burper, I don't believe, though.
No.
Okay, I don't know if you have the burper on the list, but
no.
Other than the burper wasn't very good. And then he's like, talking the funny voice and all that stuff, and he closes out his segment by playing the Imperial March from Star Wars on a trombone.
Yes.
But does a key change at the end. And I'm like, what the? And then when the doors close, the doors closing, I think, was an important moment for all of these.
Uh-huh.
Some took advantage of it, some did not. He's obviously trying to be funny. I think he probably has some talents he just didn't show.
He was on the other reality show to make a group, Loud. I didn't watch Loud, but I think some people said that they liked him from Loud. So
yeah, I said this. He gives me Gaku vibes from.
He does look like Gaku,
which is good because Gaku was funny and could probably do a lot of different stuff. I have a feeling a little bit more talented overall, but for the comedic kind of energy, that kind of chaotic, the guy who comes on and he's like the meme machine. That to me that actually is an important role in a group.
Yes, it is.
Need that because a lot of times when they form these groups, especially from reality shows, they just dry up and they're not entertaining anymore. They're just practicing all the time and they're not funny anymore. So if you could have a funny guy.
Yeah,
and I thought he was
predictions. I have no idea.
I think it's
too
unlikely.
Hard. Probably not,
unless he pulls out the skills.
Because he doesn't seem to be getting a ton of views on his stuff. So I don't know if there's like a.
If he pulls out some skills during the show, I think he'll get some credit. So yeah.
This was the one who I will give him the award of the best intro video. The best intro video.
Yeah,
It fired on all cylinders. It gave us everything we wanted. This is Lee Sung-won.
Did it make us cry, though? I can't remember. I don't think so.
Like, he did what you're supposed to do in that 1 minute. You have 1 minute of time to capture people's attention. What do? You come out, you act like a minion. You act like a meme.
Yes.
You sing a silly meme song.
Yes.
Everyone's like, oh, isn't that funny? He's acting like a minion.
Yeah,
and then, in the second half, the 1-2 punch... You throw in the vocals and absolutely slay the banana song
again
as an R&B song.
People have to understand how hard it is to be comedic, but to also be able to be during your comedy make people feel something else other than comedy.
And
he told
us a story.
He had a little skit.
It was
to be fair, as soon as I heard a Minion again, I'm like, why are K-popers? That movie's like 15 years old. Can we please stop talking about Minions?
There was a new Minion movie like last year.
But it's because they grew up on it because they're kids. But he was like, all right, he's gonna go banana and fart while he does it or something. I don't know. But when he pulled out the banana and decided to do it like a real vocal, the first thing you do is laugh because you realize, oh, he's being like, you're picturing a Minion coming out and suddenly having a good voice, like, whoa, and you'd be like, that's really funny. But then you realize, oh, he's actually singing it well. Not trying to hit the high notes, but he's arranging it like a real song. And I remember thinking, that's freaking genius.
That was genius.
And he's a good-looking guy.
Genius. He was from the group 1-9. That was another temporary group.
Yeah, I remember hearing about them.
That has since disbanded. So he does have some experience. Literally the vocal coming out of nowhere. It was just so clever.
And it wasn't like the vocal was, you've never heard anything that good before. But the way he delivered it, it showed that he could bend some notes and stuff like that while singing banana. He stretched a single word out. That was, I thought, just really clever.
Yeah,
that's how you do a video.
That was the best video.
What are his numbers though? Do you know? Were they pretty good?
I don't know. I think he's probably in the middle. So predictions, I think he has a chance. I think he has a really good chance.
I'll say this: a lot of young people, or just a lot of voters on this show or whatever, don't understand that comedic timing, switching from one emotion to the next. Doing all that is very important. It's hard work, and he pulled it off great. Like Trombone Guy came out, I just like him because he's just chaos incarnate.
Like being able to come out and not be scared and deliver something,
a performance.
Like that's not easy, but the people that can do it are like made for this, right?
Right. It's an idol.
There are ones that certainly come out and look terrified, and you're like, I don't know.
I mean, an idol is based on a very old school.
You got to perform.
An idol is based on a very old school. Before anybody that we were like from the 40s and stuff of being a performer, you're comedic. You can sing. You can dance. You can and the idols are one of the few professions left anymore that really kind of do that. That don't. Over here in the U.S., if we have a star, they're serious all the time, or they're funny all the time, or whatever. I really like that they're still embracing the trifecta of dancing, singing, being funny, And so I just thought it was a fun little.
So
he didn't take it so seriously. He didn't look nervous.
Yeah, it was great.
Really, really cool.
Aside from those 11, I do have some honorable mentions, which covers not all of them. I think there's some more that were just like in groups that I'm just not familiar with at all. I wanted to mention idols who have already debuted, separately from those who like either aren't in an active group anymore or whatever. Because I feel like if you're already in an active group, it's a little bit harder for me to like really put a lot of hopes in you.
It depends because for me, with
Bora
from
not in an active group. So let's go through the list and then we can talk about each ones, okay?
Okay.
And why they're here instead of like in my other list. So first we have Woongi and Sungmin. They were former members of TO1. TO1.
Were they the two that left before we saw them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's why they left.
There was two of them and another that left. Anyway, so TOO, I am not like a big fan of, but I slightly followed them from Road to Kingdom. They changed to TO1. They've had a lot of turmoil in their career.
Oh, okay. I didn't even put TOO. I remember that now.
Yeah, they were on Road to Kingdom. Woongi was my favorite. He was adorable.
He was a funny one.
He was adorable.
Great reactions.
Yeah.
Oh.
He is adorable.
I completely
that group has been through a lot of changes and weirdness. Some members left / were removed. It's slightly unclear if they were asked to leave or if they left on their own. That group again is under Wake One, who manages Kepler and who will manage this group. So the two of them stayed with Wake One, I guess, but were either left or removed from TO1 and are now on this show to try and be in Wake One's new group.
It's fine.
I don't know how I feel about that.
You have... Listen, we're adults, so we have to look at it this way. As adults, we should look at it. If this was let's say, a job in the or in the games industry or whatever, which we're familiar with, stuff like that, or movie industry, there's often... you're not a fit for us, but we have this other project you might be better for. It's not necessarily... I just think you're problematic... or you're leaving this group because we abused you some. It's not always super dramatic. It is a person making career decisions. That's a lot of times, I think, especially in the case of Lee from Pentagon, more it's the
we'll
more
talk about him in a minute. We're staying on TO1.
What I'm saying is more of the case of they're like, TO1's not working out for. We already had some rough stuff. Here's this opportunity. The label says, you know what? They did it with Bora May and Jiwoong, and they said, go ahead, go for it, try it. It wasn't like the label was like, if you do, you're not coming back. They were like, we still own you. Go for it. So I think that it was probably just that kind of a case. He probably got some attention from Kingdom because he was great in Kingdom, his reactions and stuff. He was really funny.
Yeah, it's just it's tough for me to say because it's just such a precarious situation.
So why would you have a problem with it? Because they already have somewhere to go.
Because
they're not homeless.
If that company already they already left that other group, why would they be in another group from the same company? Because
again, it didn't work out because the group was too large. They wanted more individual.
They added more members to that group.
Maybe they said. Again, I'm just making up stuff. Who knows? Maybe there was all sorts of dramatics.
But you don't know. You don't need to try and make an answer to
No, but what I'm saying is that since I don't know, I don't automatically go to the worst case scenario. It could be that they wanted to go work on their skills more. Maybe they wanted to get back to the beginning or a chance to work with somebody else. It's creative differences that they use that. They use, I think, I hope that's the cat at the door. They use that term because it happens a lot in artists because,
aside from all that, it just makes me feel a little precarious about their futures. One, I really like Woongi, a lot. He was my favorite member of TOO/TO1.
So you're more worried about the label than you are the individuals.
Just the situation is weird. So I don't know how to feel about it. But I love Woongi. All of his intro videos and everything have been awesome. He's adorable. Don't forget your seatbelt. He was born to be an idol. He is an idol.
Yeah.
Love him. Next on this list, Lee Hotek/Hui from Pentagon is on the show. He's probably the most talked about person that's on the show, just because we're all just like, what are you doing here? Why are you here?
Again, it's very possible that he's not going, I'm tired of this group, I'm going to go join another one. It's very possible he's like, I want to go try something different.
Backstory
He's going to go solo. He wants a little tension.
Are one of my top boy groups and have been since I got into K-pop in 2018.
Yeah, no one has a problem with Pentagon.
Shine was the song that got me into K-pop outside of BTS. Pentagon,
was it their first concert?
No, it wasn't our first concert, but we did see Pentagon in a small club, and it was just joy. It was like an hour and a half of pure joy, just pumped into my brain. It's my favorite concert I've ever been to.
Yeah,
Pentagon are so special to me. Yeah. Whether or not I call them an alt or not, I don't know, but I love them. I love their music, and the one responsible for a lot of that music that I just love is him. So to see him here, potentially, Pentagon's coming up on their contract ending. Will they renew? Highly doubted, in my opinion. Highly doubted. To see him here and be like, what's the next step in his career? Does he want... he's 30 years old. He's already
30 his Korean or 30 international?
I'm not certain.
So either way, he's 30, he's high 20s.
He's finished his military service. He's a grown man. A lot of these kids on this show are teenagers, I didn't put everyone's age on here, but I personally have a lot of history and I don't know, baggage isn't the right word, but that kind of makes it harder for me to be I'm happy that he's here, because I would rather him be with Pentagon. Of course, I love Pentagon, and if that Pentagon doesn't work out, I would rather go solo. I will buy every one of your albums. Yeah. Literally go solo. I will buy all of your albums. Probably going to. He is he wrote 101 songs. He wrote so many Wee Eye's debut song. He is a prolific songwriter and artist, and it's really hard for me to be oh, he should be in this group or whatever. I just can't wrap my head around it.
I think if these type of shows were they had a lot more veterans of the industry like himself in it, I'd feel much more grosser about it. Okay, guys, you have a group. You had your shot. You've been an idol for 8 years. You had some successes.
There are some others that are like that.
No, but you know what I mean? If they were really riddled in here, I would be much more gross feeling about it. Not towards the idol, but just being come on, guys, what are you doing? But I think it's possible they're gonna break up, or he's gonna go solo, or whatever, or it's at a moment where they were like, hey, come on the show, it'll be fun. You might get in, you might know, who cares?
A lot of people are comparing the situation to that of Yujin with CLC, also under Cube Entertainment. Maybe Cube pushing him there to like get them some attention.
I don't know. Did CLC have as much success as Pentagon? Seems like Pentagon was much more of a hard hustle.
It's really hard.
Did CLC ever tour outside of the Korea? I mean, maybe not. So.
States. It's hard to say, but like I don't think it's the same. Maybe I'm just in Delulu on the copium, but like CLC was on the way out. Like CLC was done by the time Yujin came here. So having him come here just feels like I don't want to accept that Pentagon's done. But okay, I adore him. Forever, so my feelings on him are, if he makes it into this group, I am not mad about it.
No, it's experience and leadership. I'm not mad about
it. I love him. He's going to be amazing. He can contribute so much. Am I going to vote for him? No.
But again, I
because
think that,
I'm not.
That's
I'm
fine.
not gonna.
That's fine.
But like, it's just a whole different world. Like he has nothing to prove. He's so good.
I think that people, and myself included, picture these groups like I'm always saying as a superhero group, and I think his role as the older male leader would not be questioned at all. Not as he more experienced and talented, and as actual credits to his name, but there's no question about his age. He's obviously older than everybody, so there's no question about his role. This is what I'm saying. Some people, we needed a leader. He's my leader character. I needed a rapper. Well, there's my rapper. Even if they don't like the person. My only other
feeling about it is that if he goes into this group, and what if he makes their songs or something? It's going to feel, and hearing his voice within this group, it's so distinctive. It's going to feel like it's going to have the color of Pentagon.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is I don't necessarily think he's coming on the show.
I don't know what he's doing. I need him to tell us.
I don't think he's coming on the show necessarily.
Tell me what you're doing.
I think he's coming on the show because he's like,
I need you to level with me.
He's like, you know what? I'm making money for my songs. I'll take 3 months to film a thing. If I get a little attention from he's not. Then that's not a bad reason.
I need him to level with me.
He's just trying something different. Again, this is a project.
I'm holding any further judgment from what I've already said until he goes on the show and we hear from him, from his mouth, why he's there and what he wants, because it's really hard for me to say. Like, it's very confusing to me.
I would say that if I saw a reality show about actors getting together and performing Shakespeare, and there was a veteran who came on there and stuff and was like, I just wanted to try something, a new challenge.
This is a competition show for teenagers.
I understand, but what I'm saying is that he's not a teenager. He is an adult who has an adult mind.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's weird.
And no, there's all these. If you're over 18, you're an adult.
I'm being too harsh.
But I think that it's nothing. Again, we love to make drama out of stuff where there's no drama. I think it's just simply he has some time in his schedule. He's like, I'll try something different. I'll get some accolades. This will be fun. Will I get in a group? Sure, why not? It's not that deep. He's already got success.
No, he has nothing to lose.
I'm not right, and I'm not saying he's that laissez-faire about it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he might be like, this sounds like an interesting challenge.
Okay.
And it's very possible. It's very possible, and this is where they get involved with editing before editing. And it's not illegal or anything, is they go to some of these members or some of these people or some of these labels, say, you got anybody to send? And they go to him, and he's like, and they're like, you know what? You would be great. You're the older male who has experience. You obviously can write good songs. Hell, half the people sing energetic for their little intro. So that's a character they need filled in the story. They need a villain. They need a rapper. They need a dancer. They need a crybaby. They need a sweetie. Veteran, and I think that it's nothing more than that. He's like, yeah, sure, give me $20,000 or whatever it is, And I think it's interesting. No, whatever. But I'm saying I think it's interesting because he is skilled and older. Now, a lot of idols you'll see that have been in the industry for a while, they didn't write songs. They just were singers, and that's easy. But I'm saying that when you have a working one who's produced written songs and stuff like that, that's a very cool thing to have in a show like this. He could give a lot of advice, which would make for some fun. It's going to
make for good TV.
And he's been his partner who's Japanese. He can speak a little Japanese, which is real sweet with him.
His partner in the pair videos that we mentioned earlier is named Hyo, and is Japanese. Their videos together are so sweet. He's so sweet with Hyo.
I mean,
and he helped him with like Japanese to Korean. He's the sweetest dude.
That's why I like the sale thing and Girls Planet.
I love it.
As much as I hated it, I liked it because of these little families that would form, these little brotherships or sisterships or families.
Teams.
And it's very sweet and wholesome and stuff. I like seeing that. The problem with it is you'll get this amazing Anthony and that one guy, and they're going to break them off.
No.
And I'm like, no, keep them together.
Okay, let's hurry up through the rest of these.
That's fine.
Okay. We have Keita from Cypher. Now here, This is another one.
Cypher was good.
Where I
at first
have a lot of coming into this. Number one, Treasure is like one of my old boy groups.
Here we go.
Treasure Treasure is the group that I followed before debut. Their Treasure,
Treasure Box.
Box. He was on Treasure Box. He was part of Treasure J. He was part of the group of Japanese trainees that were on Treasure Box, and the 4 of whom made it into Treasure. He didn't. My alt in Treasure has since left the group. Mashio. Oh my God. Keita reminds me so much of Mashio. They look alike. They were both in Treasure J.
Were they buddies?
Like, Treasure J are my kids. These are like my kids.
Yeah.
So like, I support him a lot. Like, I was so excited that he was going to finally debut in Cypher. Cypher's debut album is really good.
Yeah.
Their debut song and music video is really good.
Yeah.
They brought a sound and something to the table that wasn't being... it didn't exist in new boy groups at the time. It was like... Yeah. Was it 2 years ago, 1 year ago?
Yeah.
I don't remember at this point. And then Rain Company abandoned them. Rain Company 1 sabotaged them by giving their first comeback the most generic, crappy, standard boy group bullcrap instead of what they had with their debut, which was this bright, colorful, lo-fi hip-hop.
It reminded me of O&F, kind of like just different, bright and big. And
They reminded me of one team who disbanded, who some of the members are now in Omega X. And one team was also one of my favorite new groups when they came out in 2019. They had that kind of lo-fi, chill, hip-hop, cute vibe. Cypher came out with that sound, and I was like, I love this. I love Keita. I was so excited. They gave him a horrible first comeback, and then tanked the group, and they're like not doing anything with him now. So Cypher is like annoying at this point, just because that company set them up.
Yeah.
So seeing Keita here, like I am, like I'm probably gonna be voting for him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Love him, adore him.
I don't think is he under anybody's he's flying under everybody's radar. I think right. He's not really getting any.
He's getting a bit of views. I again, Cypher are a very small group, but he is cute as heck, and like skilled. I mean, he's been at this for so long.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. For sure.
Former YG trainee, like, come on, y'all. Like, he's good. Up Tension is a group that I just don't know anything about, other than Kim Woo-sik was a member and then went solo, and I've followed Kim Woo-sik's solo stuff a lot, but I've not followed anything to do with Up Tension. 2 members from Up Tension are on the show, Hwang Hee and Dong Yeol.
So, that makes sense to me. A group that's kind of doing okay. They need to try something else,
Woo-sik from Up Tension went on the X1 that produced X and made it into X1,
right.
which disbanded like after a month because of the rigging thing or whatever. Yeah. So Up Tension members, like, they've kind of done this already.
Been through it a bit, yeah.
So it's kind of expected. But again, I just know nothing about them. But I wanted to mention it because they're ones to keep an eye on, because they've already debuted and they're probably quite skilled.
Yeah.
The group 9i, similar situation. I don't know anything about 9i. But I wanted to call it out because they've already debuted, and that's Jong, Jiho, Sowon, and Winnie.
Okay. Korean members, all Korean?
No.
Oh, okay.
2 are G group, well, I don't know what, and then Jiho is K group. I just wanted to call them out because, again, experienced idol. I just don't know anything about them, but they're ones to keep an eye on. So these are...
For sure.
So we had more than 11 to talk about.
Well, hopefully when they get up there to do something, I'm sure the judges will be like, you've already debuted, show us something.
But that's it.
I can't wait to open the door and see that the kitten has wrecked the entire house, thanks to Mommy and Daddy doing a podcast. But I am excited. I'm more excited for this than I even, in a way, than GP99, because I could see the potential for such heartbreak in GP999. I think in this one they've learned that fans really don't like a lot of the dirty edits and stuff. I'm being...
They've already, I think, learned from some of the failings of Girls Planet, because they don't have J group, C group, K group. Now it's just K group, G group.
Yeah.
So there's not like the Chinese members aren't in their own separate thing, constantly having that hang over their head and like the bias against them being Chinese. It's just like G group, which is just people from everywhere.
I wish they would just do
There's a lot of diversity in that group.
They have no groups.
Because before it was C group, J group, K, there was like, where's the rest of the world? Yeah. So those people are in here. I think there's a couple of Vietnam trainees, Filipino, like lots of diversity in the group, which I love to see. So I think that's exciting. There's a lot of potential.
I wish they'd stop with all that and just say we're making a K-pop group. Let people who show up, and they'll still have mostly Korean people showing up. It's just it's the area
it's
that
fun. It's part of the shtick of the whole thing.
But I mean, people go.
I don't have a problem with that.
People's votes go into weird ways because of it, but I'm excited for it because I think that already there's interactions and stuff and personalities that I haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. Not tons, but a lot of these kids are going to wake up during the show. A lot of them come out really bland, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're awake. They're like Yena. Well, Yena was always kind of funny, but like maybe Yuri or somebody in 48, where it was kind of like a slow burn. Mm-hmm. They got better, or Nako even, who got better towards the end, and you had to see her and everything, Mm-hmm. And so I'm excited to see it. I just hope they don't pull some dirty stuff that makes you kind of go, man.
They will, but I'm prepared for it now. Because we've been through Girls Planet, so I'm prepared.
Well, seeing everything I've seen so far, I don't see anybody who is trying to put off an air of superiority. I mean, they all seem like they're
young and rich.
Well, I know, but other than that,
tall and handsome.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he's gonna be villain done it. I can just tell it. But I'm not gonna fall for it. I don't think he's actually a jerk. I think he's playing a character.
I think he's fine. Yeah. I just didn't like his young and rich thing because it reminded me of Sue Richie. So I was like, oh man, yeah, I can't wait. When does it start?
The first week of February. We will be back here on my channel first week of February every Saturday for recaps as we go through the journey of Boys Planet. If you've listened to us talk, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thanks for listening to us.
Sorry for the sniffling.
Please subscribe to my channel for more of these recaps every week, and leave us a comment down below about your favorites.
Word up.
Who are you looking for?
Word up. It's all going to be Anthony.
See you next time.
Have a good night.
Bye.